All right, let's head to the NBA in Game 2 of the West Final between the Spurs and the Thunder. OKC got Wembeed in Game 1. 41 points, 24 rebounds for Victor Wembanyama in a double OT win. MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was held to 2 points across both OTs. You know he and the defending champs will come out swinging tonight. On the scene in Oklahoma City is our NBA reporter, Tim McMahon, covering the Thunder as they look to bounce back tonight. Howdy, Tim. OKC did not have an answer for Wemby in Game 1. What can you share about the team's approach in trying to handle the Defensive Player of the Year tonight?
Howdy, Christine. Look, Victor Wembanyama presents problems that are unique, that are unlike any other player that we've ever seen before. And there's been a lot of time and energy invested in this Thunder practice facility the last couple of days, searching for pathways to be able to attack him. Mark Daigneault said there are a lot of solutions, but the margins for error are razor thin. You know, part of this is a scheme issue, trying to figure out ways to move him around, ways to make sure that he can't just patrol the paint and be a stationary, dominant rim protector. But part of it's also about the approach and the attitude. As Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has said, you have to be smart and patient, but you also have to be aggressive. You cannot be timid, because that's when Wemby can really put a stranglehold on a game.
Yeah, maybe don't let him pull up from 28 feet. Okay, so that's how they'll focus on Wemby. What is the team saying about adjustments on offense?
They got to get Shai rolling. They've also got to get Chet Holmgren going. Chet Holmgren was outstanding offensively in the first couple of series and a complete non-factor in Game 1. 8 points on only 7 field goal attempts. Now, Shai gets plays called for him. Pretty much every play is called for Shai, let's just be honest. Chet does not get a lot of plays called for him, and that's probably not going to change. As Mark Daigneault said, his offense tends to come downstream. They feel like if they improve the process, if they improve the way that they're attacking, that Chet can get his offense within the flow. Now, one thing he was really doing well in the first couple series was, getting those little dump-off passes down around the basket. He was spectacular as a finisher. It's a different type of challenge when you've got a 7'6" alien patrolling down there around the rim.
All right, the Thunder have not lost back-to-back playoff games since games 5 and 6 of the 2024 Western Conference semis against the Mavs. Tim McMahon, live from OKC. Enjoy.
Did Tim say alien?
He did.
Wemby had a historic Game 1, becoming the youngest player in NBA history to have 40 points and 20 boards in a playoff game. The previous record was held by the great Lou Alcindor, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Wemby was at his best when it mattered most, scoring 16 of his 41 points in clutch time. On the scene, let's go back to OKC's NBA reporter Michael C. Wright, who is covering the Spurs. Michael, what are you hearing out of the Spurs locker room as they look to go up 2-0 before heading back home to San Antonio?
Well, I'm hearing that they might not be able to hear in this loud arena tonight. They're expecting a very hostile environment. But I talked to Keldon Johnson in the locker room after Game 1, and he said, when that crowd gets loud, our mentality is to double down. When they get crazy, we double down. He said, because if you show any sign of timidness, weakness, then the Oklahoma City Thunder will beat your you-know-what. So I also need to add here that Keldon Johnson said that, look, we are not here in Oklahoma City just to get a split before we go back to San Antonio for games 3 and 4. No, we are here to win this thing. We respect Oklahoma City, but we are here to win this thing. It's not about a split. They will not be content with a split.
They've handled things so well considering how young they are. And we haven't even talked about De'Aaron Fox. He sat out of Game 1, the veteran, right ankle sprain. What can you tell us about his status ahead of tonight's game?
Well, De'Aaron Fox is a game-time decision with that sprained right ankle. Going back to Game 1, he went through the pregame warm-ups and everything, and he tried to test that ankle out. He thought he was going to be able to go, but ultimately decided not to. He was at shoot-around again this morning, and so it's still a game-time decision. We'll know sort of as we get close to the tip-off. But I can say here that if he does not go, San Antonio's guards will be it'll be tough sledding for them, because Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle, they're going to have to deal with Oklahoma City's ball pressure. If you go back to Game 1, Stephon Castle turned over the ball 11 times in that game, and he said that fatigue was a factor. San Antonio tried to help him out by running a lot more ball screens than they normally do. They averaged about 50 ball screens per game over the regular season. Well, they ran 99 in game one, and they still ended up with 21 turnovers as a team. So that's something to keep an eye on.
Michael C. Wright powering through. I can tell you the national anthem for game two is going to be fantastic considering what we just heard. Thank you so much as we get ready. Of course, Spurs.
Association where the Spurs can take a stranglehold of the West Finals with a second win tonight in OKC. Team to go up 2-0 in a best-of-7 win the series 92% of the time. So the defending champs need to figure Wemby out now. What he did in game one is the stuff of legend.
It's a frenzy pitch. Spurs got numbers 5-on-4. Wemby's going to pull a deep three.
Oh my goodness. A logo shot.
Ties it at 108.
We're talking about body blow upon body blow between these two teams. Victor Wembanyama, are you kidding me?
Wow, let's go to double overtime. Tied at 108. In a game that doesn't want to end and nobody wants to see it end. Entry pass, Wembanyama breaks free, slams it down, and the foul.
They're still holding the ball. Like I'm taking my ball and going home. I mean, he is absolutely loving the competition.
Castle. Lobbing. Wembanyama! He's unbelievable, folks. He's unbelievable. The Spurs have stolen game one of the Western Conference Finals. An instant classic here in Oklahoma City. The Spurs in double overtime behind 41 points and 24 rebounds for Victor Wembanyama.
Everybody had to step up. You know, everybody answered the call. There's like sheer willpower.
That's the hardest game I ever played in my life. Double overtime game. Multiple chances to get it done, but it's easy when you got the best player in the world on your team.
We needed every second from everybody. And those 5 guys played, I think, the last 15 or so minutes of game time. And your knees got wobbly, and you composed yourselves, and you were strong as hell to finish. It's a hell of a job.
Wow, that was beautiful. Danny Green is back with us. Okay, so OKC looking to even the series tonight. What adjustments do they need to make in defending Wemby?
I think they may have to make a few. You know, it's not just one thing. I think there's offense and defensive. Defensively, they got to find ways to keep more in the basket and that changing up the coverages. Throwing smaller bodies at them is okay, but you got to put some big bodies on them as well. Chet's got to guard him some. Isaiah Hartenstein's got to guard him some. Then, of course, you got your main covered guy like Alex Caruso, J-Dub. But you got to use those different coverages to keep him off on his toes. And then offensively, you got to find ways to keep him, you know, or work at him. You know, try to tire him out some. Win the minutes that he's off the floor, but when he's on the floor, the guy who he's guarding has to cut to the basket, crash the offensive glass, or try to get, you know, easy weak side drop-offs for dunks. And that's Chet mostly because he guards him. But whoever else is guarding him is a wing, got to knock down shots.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how Chet responds tonight. Meanwhile, the Spurs look to go up 2-0 against the reigning champs. What is the key to an upset tonight?
Not many adjustments for the Spurs. They just got to keep playing how they played. And the biggest thing is don't turn the ball over. If they can take care of the ball and shoot better, they have a really good chance at doing this. The team that loses is the one that has to make most of the adjustments. The team that won, keep doing what you're doing. And if you got Wemby playing like that and you get other guys involved like Dylan Harper and you got Shan Penny and Keldon Johnson and whoever's shooting from the outside, you have a pretty good chance at you know, beating this team. Also keeping Shea on the wraps. Their defense was the biggest key. Slowing down Shea and slowing down everybody else, where Alex Caruso had to have 30 points to keep them in the game. You can bet that he's not going to shoot it that greatly. But if they just keep doing what they're supposed to do and not turn the ball over, they have a good chance at winning 2 in Oklahoma City.
All right, the Spurs 7.5-point underdogs in this one. I'm sure they like it like that. Danny Green, thank you.